There's some serious magic happening on the grounds here at Del Rio Vineyards in Gold Hill. And it all starts with a French winemaker, his journey to create the perfect bottle of sparkling wine, all while keeping his roots close to his heart.
Nantes, Loire Valley. So the city where I'm from is called Loire.
In his lab at Del Rio Winery, Jean-michel Jussiaume shows me where he grew up, where his parents still live, and the reason winemaking is in his blood.
I was born and raised in France, in the Loire Valley, in the west part of France, in the wine appellation of Muscadet, where my parents and my brother, my oldest brother, are making wine and taking care of the vineyards. And it was not very romantic, it was a lot of hard work.
He came to the United States in 2001 as a student, wanting to learn the wine industry, but more importantly, the culture. His goal after that, go back home and export the wine of his parents to the U.S.
Working in New York State, in the Finger Lakes, where I produced riddling, but also sparkling wine, a lot of sparkling wine. Over there, I tasted the wine from USA, and my favorite were the one from Oregon.
A desire to head west, and then a job at Del Rio, where he's been the winemaker since 2008. Eventually, though, he wanted to create a wine that reminded him of home, the wine his parents produce.
The Muscadet is a dry white wine, fresh, lively, a wine that the Parisians like to enjoy on the Seine river and dance. It's a very convivial, joyful wine, and I wanted to create exactly this kind of wine because that's what wine is about for me. Mostly it's about the people and the joy of sharing something.
Muscadet is made from one grape, Moulin de Bourgogne, or melon of Burgundy. It grows in Oregon, but only in the Willamette Valley.
And when you want to create a vibrant style of wine like Muscadet, picking decisions are very important. You need to make sure that the acid level is still there.
Jean-Michel says he couldn't see himself buying grapes 4 hours away and wanted more control over the picking decisions. He started to think about other wines that had the same spirit as Muscadet, and that's when he landed on Champagne, and his grapes were right outside his office.
In this room, I've been fermenting my sparkling wine the last few weeks. So I keep it around 58 Fahrenheit. This is my new vintage, 2021. It's going to be a Blanc de Blanc, Chardonnay. And on the top of this bottle, I have this little tool. It's called Afrometer. And it's designed to take the internal pressure of the wine. And so you can see here that this one is fermenting actually. And now I have a little bit more than 5 bars of pressure. In the end, when the fermentation will be done, I will be around 6.5. This is going to happen, over 3 months.
He follows the traditional methods of Champagne France.
If there is still some yeast here, that means the riddling is not fully done. Here it's, fairly clear.
And everything is done by hand.
This is from the University of Champagne. I was at my second, remontage. I don't know how to translate this, but I'm going to go here and then start to go to the second thing, turning each bottle slowly like that to make sure that the yeast detach from the glass.
Riddling. This happens twice a day for a handful of weeks, and once Jean-Michel turned a few bottles as a demonstration for me, he says they all had to be done. There are more modern, faster ways of riddling, but Jean-Michel doesn't mind taking the time.
There is something about making sparkling wine the old traditional way. It's slow, it's a little bit of at the opposite of the life of today where everything is speed, and I kind of like this process. This is my bottling line, my disgorging bottling line. This piece of shit. I made that in my garage, with my drill. That's all you need.
Your bottling line right here.
Yes, that's it. Very rustic. It works. And this is a disgorging key. That's it. That's with that you open every bottle. So let's say I was going to open this large magnum, which I'm not going to. Take my bottle like that, against my, and then lift it up. You will have to imagine that this part has been frozen with ice. I lift it up. When the air bubbles reach this part, then with this key I will open the crown cap here, and under the pressure, the yeast will be expulsed.
So Jean-Michel, along with the help of one other person, hand disgorges and corks each and every bottle.
This is a labor of love for you.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know if it's love, but yeah, it's labor for sure. It's labor.
His humor certainly doesn't get lost in translation, but it's obvious how proud he is of what he's done.
My label is Maison Jussiaume. Maison Jussiaume. Now, Maison stands for home.
Home.
Home, yes. And the reason I label it this way, it's because in Champagne we don't say cellar, they call it the house of Champagne.
We're kind of in House Jussiaume right now.
You are, in fact, yeah. I always use my riddle vessel.
Back in the lab, a brief break to celebrate and an excuse to taste his hard work.
This is my label. As you can see, there is a big MJ standing for Maison Jussiaume. If you cannot say Maison Jussiaume, you can always say, Garçon, I'd like a glass of MJ sparkling wine.
He's hoping a trip home this summer may mean more equipment for House Jussiaume, which ultimately will lead to more of these bubbles. Right now, he's pretty content contributing to the local scene.
It's a product from the Southern Oregon terroir, after all, and I'm the only one who is not fully from Southern Oregon, but we can say now that I'm part of Southern Oregon.
It's a wine that reminds him of home, of joy, something to share. And as Jean-Michel put it, the only drink perfectly acceptable to have at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.
No one say no to a bottle of sparkling wine, you know what I mean?